I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. Don't second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today, and we have a special guest, an East Coast ball player. Rio, go ahead. Let's kick it off, man. Who we got?
We have Miles, and I don't want to slaughter his last name, so I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself.
I'm going to say LeVere.
That's what I thought.
Hey, that's actually correct.
Yeah,
there we go.
There we
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
I had to take a shot.
There
He's
you go.
being a chicken over here. I got
Hey,
you.
man. I heard you read some of them UFC names. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to I'll sit aside and let him introduce himself. But, yeah, we have Miles on. He's going to chat some baseball and whatnot. So, Miles, where are you from?
I'm originally from King George, Virginia, small little town.
Okay.
Awesome.
What's that? What's the biggest close city to that?
We have our capital, Richmond. That's about 45 minutes out,
Okay.
so not too far.
Okay. Here we go. So you're taking part in JUCO this year, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And you started off where?
At the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. It's a Division I HBCU school in Maryland.
Oh, very cool.
There we go. Absolutely. You how was your senior season? Actually, what got you playing baseball in the first place, right? Like, how long have you been playing? And what got you the passion going, what kept it going, and everything like that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I've been playing ball since I was 4 years old. That was my first time being on a team for T-ball. Played for the Cubs. I remember everything about it. Honestly, that's kind of when I originally fell in love with it, and I haven't missed a year since. And that was when I was 4 years old. I just turned 22 this year, and so I guess you can do the math on how long I've been playing. But yeah, I pretty much fell in love with the game early, and even through middle school and high school, I decided not to play any other sport.
Okay.
Decided to hone in on baseball, and I made that my main focus pretty early.
Okay. So my youngest son, well, my oldest son plays high school baseball now, but my youngest does travel baseball. Did you do any of that when you were younger too?
Yeah. I did a lot of travel baseball with my uncle starting off. That was about when I was maybe 8 to 10 years old. Then through high school, I got on Pinnacle Baseball Academy, which is out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. It's a very nice travel ball team.
Okay.
I got on that team in sophomore year. We had a lot of success, and I can honestly attribute a lot of my skills to them. They got me a lot better, and that's kind of where my career took off, in my opinion.
There we go. So like what we go through is when we travel as a group and a family, because like you get to know these people a hell of a lot closer than you ever imagined. Like when you're the other baseball players' families, I should say. When we're doing this, we do USSSA over here. So I don't know if that's what you guys are doing over there, but
yeah, we do.
So you did all kinds of hotel stays and stuff too, I assume.
Oh yeah, we did we went to Perfect Game for a year. We traveled to North Carolina a couple times. Traveled up north a few times. We did a pretty decent amount of traveling.
There you go. Absolutely. Cool. So who would it be your whole family taking you? Would it be your dad, mom, any of that? Like who was the one, like the main focus? Like who would guide you to where you're going?
Well, that was tough. So growing up, when I was early on, around 8 to 10 years old, my brother and I were on two different travel teams. So my mother and my father would kind of take turns with us. Whoever wanted to go see a tournament, wherever, they would just switch off. So when we got to high school, we got to play together. And so a lot of the time my dad would take us just because he's more interested in the game. And, my mom supports me, of course, but my dad, he's the one that wants to be there for us, and he's the one that wants to see everything going on. So he was probably the main one, I'd say, to take us.
There we go. I do a lot of it myself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So you go up into high school and whatnot. How did your high school season kind of take off, and how did the recruiting process go for you, and how did the scouts ultimately for that college get to know you or find you?
Okay. So if I'm being quite honest, I really didn't really think about college baseball until pretty late. It was around my spring and sophomore year, and that's when everybody started to talk about, think about maybe how I've been playing and where I think I can maybe potentially go. And that's when I got on the Pinnacle Baseball Academy, like I said. And, getting on those teams and playing those tournaments, that got me a lot of exposure. I had some Division I interest, not too many offers early on.
Okay.
A lot of the D3s around in Virginia,
Okay.
a lot of Division II schools.
Can you touch on a few of those? Do you remember who was kind of reaching out at that point?
Early on, my sophomore year, I know Mary Washington, which is a D3 here in Fredericksburg, Virginia. They reached out to me. Ferrum Baseball, I know I took a visit out to Ferrum. I think that was my sophomore year as well. So those were two of the main D3s. I started the D2s. University of Charleston was the main one, and that's in West Virginia.
Okay.
And that's actually ultimately where I committed to my junior year, but ultimately decided not to go.
Why was that? Does coaching staff change, or somewhere else was looking a little better?
To be honest, I liked what was going on over there. I had a few buddies on the team, my travel ball team that was going over there, and so I thought I was feeling comfortable. But I one day I just looked at it. I looked at the situation, and I just kind of figured I wasn't a good fit there.
Sure.
I got a decent scholarship there, but at the end of the day, it was a lot of money that I would have had to pay, and so financially, it was probably a smarter decision not to go. And so it was a tough decision to make, but ultimately, I don't regret it.
Oh, good. So you went to Maryland Eastern Shore? That's what you said?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you played one season there?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. And then you decided to go JUCO after that?
Yes, sir.
And can you talk about that?
Yeah.
The thought process and all that?
Yeah. So my freshman year, I went to University of Maryland Eastern Shore. I remember our first series, I actually started at third base, which was really cool. It was in my home state against Longwood. So I had some family come, and it was really cool. I didn't have much success early on. Eventually caught on a little bit. And then my brother left, and my brother was on the team as well. He left, and then that kind of strained the relationship between my coach and I. Okay. And so I started playing a lot less, and then I eventually got hurt. And it just wasn't a good situation for me after that. So
okay.
I hit the portal, the transfer portal. A lot of people were telling me to just go the JUCO route. I did a little research on it, and I found myself in the JUCO ball. So here I am.
Yeah, no,
right,
that's not a bad route to go. A lot of people get themselves picked right back up, going and doing some JUCO. I know, and we know a few people that came down to NIAC level, and that includes all sports, football, basketball. When they did have their football program, I should say, but they go do that, and then they catapult from there. So everyone has their own route, and that's what it is, right?
Right, exactly, correct.
Yeah, I think that's important to get your bearings before you jump back into something too, man. With as much going on as you have, and the relationship with the coach and things like that, it's like, shoot, let's just reset and figure out how I want to get there, what I want to do, and that type of thing. So here's my question for you, man. So you've had a passion for this since you were 4. right?
Right.
The big development sounds like when you were really in high school, and that's when you started to think about college and that type of thing. What did you feel like was the biggest thing you had to work on between high school and college?
I would say probably the biggest jump that I had to make was seeing consistent high velocity at the Division I level. In high school, again, I'm from a pretty small town, so we don't have too much talent where we play, not too much competition, I mean. So that was probably the biggest jump hitting wise, just to get on time and hunt fastballs early. And it's just a big jump between high school and Division I pitching.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that's what. So I talked to a cat that I worked with once. He played Division III baseball, actually.
Buena Vista.
Yep, Buena Vista. So he played Division III baseball, and I asked him, and at that time I was young and naive to it, much younger, I should say. And so I asked him, he's a diehard Hawkeye, diehard Hawkeye fan. And I asked him, like, well, why didn't you go to the Hawkeyes? I mean, your batting in high school was pretty damn good and everything. All your numbers are up there. And he told me that this suited him a hell of a lot better, obviously, first off, right out of the gate. But then he's like, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. He's like, there's literally the only difference between playing a quote unquote notch below versus like Hawkeyes or something like that is literally control. The speed and everything is still there. So the only difference, he said, is like the control of the pitchers.
And, I can actually attest to that. I've definitely been to a Division III, Division II, NAIA, junior college, you name it. I mean, guys shove at every level, and a lot of high schoolers get that misunderstood, and they think that Division III is easy and NAIA ball is nothing, but it's honestly not the truth. And so I'm not surprised that you say that.
Yeah, so that's 100% correct what he told me then. It's like, because the speed and everything is still there. It's just like maybe it's like that same style pitcher just working on their control more than anything. So, right? Does that sound correct?
A lot of the time, I will say that you will definitely have more consistent speed the higher level you do go. But I again, like I said, I've definitely seen some Division III levels throw right up there with the Division I guys. So
okay. And you're going to be going into this season still playing for Montgomery, correct?
So I play for Prince George's Community College now.
Okay.
I transferred over this spring, so this is my first semester here, and my only semester. I'm a COVID sophomore, so when I transferred from University of Maryland Eastern Shore to Montgomery College, that first season was when COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
So I got canceled, and the next year I played for Montgomery 1 year. I didn't really like my recruiting process was going over there. My coaches weren't exactly helping me as much as I thought they should have, and so I came over to PG, and I'm pretty happy with how things have gone since.
There we go. When has your season kicked off yet then?
Yeah, our season started I think March 1st.
Okay.
Or the last weekend in February. One of those two, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a little different than around here. Obviously, we got to wait for snow and stuff to melt away and all that stuff. Yeah. So I get like start times a little different than in other parts of the country. So I was just more curious about that.
So you're playing your sophomore year here. Ultimately, are you looking to make another jump up to that possibly D1 level, or something like that? Or are you just looking to continue out your JUCO career and hopefully catch the eyes of someone, at this level?
Yeah, I've definitely had a handful of Division I interest this year, and so I'm definitely looking to make the jump. But again, I'm not knocking Division IIs,
sure,
NAIAs, any of those schools. I'm all ears to everybody. I try to hear everyone out as much as I can.
Right.
It's not D1 or bust for me. Honestly, I'm following where the money is. So where the scholarship is where I'm going, and the opportunity. So
right, absolutely.
That's what I'm into.
No, absolutely, and I actually like the previous statement right there. I like the attitude right there. Like, I'm not going to shut down having a conversation with somebody. We're going to have the conversation, and feel it out afterwards. I appreciate that a lot, actually. So getting shut down is not something that anyone likes to feel. So why not at least have the conversation?
Exactly. I mean, the way I feel, if somebody does take interest in you and your skill set, I mean, why knock them? You know, they find interest in you. So the least you could do is give them a shot.
Absolutely.
For sure. So if a team was looking for someone, such as yourself, what do you bring best to the field? Do you think you can improve a team? You know, what are your strengths on the ball field?
I would definitely say my bat has improved tremendously over the last couple of years. I've seen a lot higher, consistent, I guess you can say better pitching in junior college. And
Sure.
I've done pretty well. And a lot of schools have taken notice to that. And I think my bat is one of the biggest things that I can bring to a table.
For sure. Hey, yeah, I've seen some videos of you doing some fielding work too, and pretty good, nice glove you got there as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So you play infield. Which position in infield? You just do, or you just a jack of all of them, jack of all trades?
So right now I'm playing shortstop for Prince George's, but honestly, I see myself more transitioning to second base at the next level.
Okay.
So I've done a little bit of both. I'm doing a little bit of both now. My coach wants to give me more reps at second base because he sees that's probably where I'll play wherever I go next year anyway. So he's been working me there, which is nice. So I'm playing a little bit of both.
Oh, that's good.
Very cool.
So I got to ask you, the last couple weeks here,
Right.
has been a lot of stuff about our wonderful Will Smith. I'm just curious, what do you think about that? Like the very first instinct that you seen him walk up. I don't know if you seen it. Obviously, you might not have seen it live because I didn't. I just saw the replay. I've seen the memes.
Right.
The memes are legendary. I'm just curious.
Yeah, they are.
I'm just curious what you thought of it when you first saw it, like your first instinct.
Okay. When I first saw it, honestly, I understood Will to a certain extent. I honestly think there's a time and place for certain things. I think there's also a way to carry things out. You know, I don't think he should have done exactly that. But
Right.
The fact that Chris Rock stood there and took that, and as professional as he was,
Right.
I have much respect for him. I mean, that's crazy.
Dude, yeah, one thing that was 100% proven out of everything else is that Chris Rock's jaw is
Got a chin,
rock
man.
solid. He's got a chin, dude.
It's still, yeah.
Yeah.
If so, playing baseball a long time, you come up through high school. What's a dream school that if they offered you, a scholarship, today, that you would say yes on the spot?
No, yeah, like no money conversation,
Right.
nothing like that. Just like, hey, we'll take care of the whole business. We want you to come here.
Well, my dream school coming through high school was always Florida State. So
Okay.
I know how far-fetched of a dream that is now, but yeah, that would definitely be a school where if they just said, "Hey, Miles, we want you," it's no questions. I'm coming.
Okay.
Beautiful.
We haven't touched on your well, first off, your other or your favorite baseball team. Do you have other teams professionally that you like, football, basketball, any of that stuff?
Yeah. So my dad has always weirdly been a Dolphins fan for football. So I kind of inherited that.
Okay.
I'm a Yankees fan though for baseball. I love the Yanks. I bleed that navy blue and white.
Oh,
so.
do you?
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You got a Twins
I'm
fan
a
over
Twins fan, so we're used to getting owned. We usually call the Yankees Poppy. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I call all my boyfriends Daddy. Yeah. Yeah. So every time we make the playoffs, that one year, every other year,
yeah.
it just so happens to be the goddamn Yankees.
And we love seeing you.
Oh, absolutely, you do. You like bending us over that knee and just spanking that ass, and we're just like, oh, okay, wait, we appreciate this. Oh yeah, I appreciate this.
He knows.
We're partakers. Oh, he knows. Yeah, if you're a Yankees fan, you
yeah.
already know. You know it's a first round bye.
Exactly.
See, damn it, he knows. Hey, at least we're in the same boat when it comes to the Dolphins. We're Vikings. Well, two of us are here, Vikings fans. At least you have a Super Bowl victory, but you know what heartache has been for the last 30 years, so or 22. So you know what that's like.
Yeah. It's been a struggle being an Dolphins fan for sure. I'll say that.
Oh, you got to be a little. Were you? So how excited were you? Speaking about that, how excited were you about the Tyreek Hill trade?
Oh, I was ecstatic seeing that. Him and Waddle on the edge. I mean, that's the two fastest guys in the game. You know, so that's obviously exciting. But hopefully, our quarterback can throw to him. You know, that's now, right?
Damn it, this dude just really doesn't like me right now. So I'm kind of a Tua guy too. So I've been sitting here defending myself against these two guys that aren't sold on Tua, especially my guy Danny G over there does not like left-handed quarterbacks. So.
Ooh.
It's true.
Yeah, so he's like, it just doesn't work, and I'm like, dude, I have faith. I have faith in Tua, baby. We got this. And now they got themselves a couple damn good receivers. So if he doesn't work out, we know it's because of him at this point. Then.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly what I want to see this upcoming season.
There we go. So are you getting that set up, Rio?
Yeah.
So we do every time we bring a guest on, if you don't mind, we do a little Rio's Randoms. He asks a few questions. Don't take them way too serious. We're all gonna answer the question too, and kind of like a would you rather. You know, nothing too bad, but give what you think. All right.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. You know what time it is? It is time for Rio's Randoms, brought to you by Bo's Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Make sure you hit him up for all your power washing and cleaning needs. He'll clean the gutters. Springtime is here. He'll mow the lawn, weed eat, anything like that. Make sure you hit him up. He'll take care of you for sure. All right. For tonight's Rio's Randoms, number 1. Would you rather coach a team with a great offense and an average defense, or have a great defense but just a mediocre offense?
Oh, we'll let you go first.
That's tough because usually I've been taught growing up that defense wins championships, but I don't know. You can't. I mean, a whole lineup that can hit that's tough to defend against. So I would have to go with option A.
Okay.
There you go, taking the offense.
Danny G, what you thinking?
Yeah, I'm taking offense too. Yep.
Okay. I'm surprised by that, but go ahead, Rio.
I'm going to take the defense. I think ultimately in the playoffs, your defense comes into play. At baseball, in terms of if we were talking baseball, I think pitching and defense is big time. And then just like football, I'm going to take my defense in the postseason. I take offense all day during the regular season, but come to win that championship, you go into the playoffs, you're taking your defense, and that's where I'm leaning.
I'm gonna have to ride with the D too, and the reason why I got to ride with
you ride with the D.
Yeah, you already know. Listen, these. Yeah, they're about to get a blanket party after we're done with this phone call. So, the D, you son of a bitch. We are. I would take that just for the simple fact that we're Vikings fans, right? So when we were making the playoffs, the ones they would flirt with us the most about thinking that we had a shot, it's when we had stud-ass defenses, right? When we have a stud-ass offense and no defense, you see how that goes. Put it in Kirk Cousins' hands, and we'll go ahead and go 7-9, baby.
Yep.
Now, I'm not about that business. I'd rather take that defense, give me that false hope, thinking that the game is 16-20. All we need is this. Well, we won't be able to get with our average offense, but I think I'd rather at least feel like I have a swinger's chance with a stout defense. So.
I respect that.
Very good, very good. Number 2 for tonight. Would you rather win a championship or never win a championship but win an MVP trophy?
Oh, definitely win a championship.
Okay.
Hands down. I mean, there's no better feeling than win the ship with your brothers around you. I think that's better than any individual award that you can get.
Yeah, you have a lifetime of memories that you'll always be able to. You run into someone on that roster, and it instantly takes you back to that. So I'm riding with that one too. The championship, forever memories. I mean, if you're thinking about the money aspect, you still probably get something off of a championship, but at the end of the day, you have something that you can never take away. Like, you know, if you ever won a state championship, even like high school level, that's something you never take away. You're always a state champion. So,
yeah,
you're on board with
championship
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ultimately this comes down to, and I'm with the championship as well. But I think if like money is a big thing to you, you're gonna take the MVP route, just because that'd probably get you the most money, you know, in any sport or whatever. But I think ultimately for the best experience and to be able to look back, you know, maybe when you retire, you can look back on that. Man, I was part of something special.
just ask Charles Barkley, baby. Ask him which one. Ask him if he would substitute that in a heartbeat. Absolutely, he would. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the one thing that's followed him his whole career, even afterwards, is, well, you're not a champion. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm an MVP. That don't matter. You're not a champion, right?
Yeah. Shaq rubs that in every day, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my last one for tonight: would you rather have cool uniforms but play in a really crappy stadium or on a really crappy field, or have a state-of-the-art facility but play with bare, ugly uniforms, nothing special?
Give me the facility all day.
Okay.
I can't. I mean, I can't play on a bad field. That's just not what anybody wants to do.
No, you just feel embarrassed for like everybody involved, at least versus, you know, even your fans. Like, I feel bad for you guys even supporting us for a shithole like that. But
you're living for the away games, just swagged out, but
like,
living for the away games.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the field also, because you know what? I'll make that shit ass jersey look real good. I'll figure something out. Now I'll spruce her up, wear some sock. You know, I'll dress her up. You know, you know what? You put enough gold chains on, you know, like Big Papi, and you'll be just fine, baby. Absolutely, I'll spruce her up that way, man. What are you thinking, Danny? I know where he's.
I'm trying to be contrarian, but I can't really.
Right. Nah, give me the uniform. It's all right. I am. Give me the uniforms, right? I'm gonna be swagged out when we get to Omaha, right? I'm like, what's up? Looking good.
What it is. See,
in the postseason, because in the postseason, you probably rarely play home games, you know, or at least you're splitting time. So let me look good.
So I will tell you that, right, is a lot more beliefs than today's version of baseball, especially the USSSA and all that stuff. Is even coaches are starting to come around to that, in the sense of, you know what, dress good, play good. As in, and they don't mean actually you become a superstar over that. What they mean is you no longer worry about what you look like. You're literally playing the game of baseball, football, whatever. You're not worrying about how you look, 'cause it looks damn good too. So I could see that side, but you know what? At the end of the day, you know what? If you're ripping someone's ass up on that nice, beautiful field, it doesn't matter what your jersey looks like, right?
Right.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said.
I think back in the day, that's actually a reason why Oregon football pulled a bunch of their recruits. It's because how many uniforms options did they have? Like, they'd go out in the field.
Yeah.
You usually, what's the coach over there?
Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly would have a decent team anyways, but when you have Nike in your backyard donating all that money and you have seven different uniforms.
And they do look sick. So I will give that. But their facilities.
And they keep them all.
No, their facilities are phenomenal.
Right, exactly what Miles is saying there, too. Is that, but those facilities are legit, too.
For
so
sure.
they have both.
I'm just saying, like,
that was
I think that was
pushover.
part of it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Now I think, you know, it's kind of evened out. Everybody has a cool uniform these days, it seems like, you know.
Yep.
But, yeah, that's kind of what I had tonight. For Rio's Randoms,
Go ahead.
I think. And that is all I had tonight, folks. Make sure to help our guy Kevin Beauchart for any of your cleaning needs. He'll be sure to hook you up.
Springtime is here, folks.
You know it.
One little cat back there.
Stop being cold.
All right, so I got a few questions for you before we let you off. You've been awesome. We appreciate you coming on and everything. Number one, I'd like to know what is something that you eat that some of the, like, maybe other people in the world think is weird.
That's a good question. I eat clam with oysters. I eat oysters. And
okay,
you know, that's kind of like a country thing, I guess, to a lot of people. people see oysters and they get freaked out. So.
Well, that and that aphrodisiac. I got you.
I think I have seen that.
Yeah, you see that? That's gross, though. Appreciate you for that.
that
That is so. That's exactly what I was looking for right there. Appreciate
Right,
you.
yeah, there you
I
go.
will not eat that. That will not happen.
Right, yeah.
Tell me, like, when. So we're not going to go over too much of it, but when you, I assume you like cheeseburgers, right?
Right.
So we have this ongoing thing here at the desk here. I'm not going to ask you what your perfect cheeseburger is, all the toppings and stuff, but tell me if a burger gets delivered to you and it has pickles on it, are you gonna eat that burger, or are you gonna take time to pick that off, or even send it back and ask for one without pickles on it?
Yeah, I don't like pickles at all. But
Thank you,
I'm not,
sir.
I'm not going to be extra and send it back. So I'll just take them off and I'll just eat the burger after.
There you go.
Got an anti.
Love it.
Yeah, Danny G.
You're
over
my
here.
guy.
Yeah, Danny's over there like, finally, I got somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, I do not like pickles at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
not even fried
Okay,
pickles.
Okay.
Nothing.
No,
No
nothing
pickles.
pickles. Okay,
Man.
damn.
So I do have one question. First baseball player on, and there's got to be one. What do you have a pregame ritual?
I was
something
gonna
you
go there too.
something you do, that you do before every game, anything like that?
That you center yourself, or just
Oh, yeah, definitely. After we take our pregame infield, outfield, I'll head down. I'll run down the line, and wherever dugout we're on, left field or right field, I head down the line, and I'll just take my hat off. I'll kneel and I'll just pray, and I'll just thank God, for the day and for waking us all up this morning and giving us a day to play ball. And that's definitely something I do every day before practice and games.
absolutely. That's awesome.
Very cool.
I love it.
That I don't know. We asked you odds, ends, all this. Talked about your career and where you see yourself going. We talked who your favorite baseball team is. Who there had to have been one player growing up. You played from the age of 4. Who is that guy that you're like, that is my all-time favorite player? The dude you loved, that you grew up to, that maybe you had a poster on the wall, whatever.
That would have to be Derek Jeter himself. I mean,
Okay.
I was a Yankees fan really early on, and how he carried himself, and how much everybody talked about him, and how much they respected him, and how he carried himself on the field. He was definitely somebody that I looked up to growing up, and how I modeled my game and how I carry myself after.
No, absolutely. That's a damn good one. Even me not being that Yankee guy, still respect the captain.
Yeah.
For sure.
The even banged up, kind of like his last ride, his last season, walking off,
Right.
Wow,
Yeah,
the way you did,
exactly.
like, could you tell that story any better?
Any better.
Greatness.
awesome.
And it was, and you guys are damn lucky that you had a player like that carried himself, like you said, so damn well. You didn't know anything about his personal life for the most part. Nothing ever came out about anything for the Maybe you find out he's dating someone, but other than that, there was not, you never knew nothing about him. He literally was that much of a professional. So
Exactly.
I could see that absolutely.
Well, Miles, I tell you what, the one thing I need from you is we all wish you the best of luck figuring out what you're going to do, hopefully getting to the next level and things like that. But once you figure that out, hit us up and let us know. Even if we do a quick 10-minute interview, we want to talk to you and figure out what you got planned next, because we try to follow everybody that we've got on here and are willing to take the time to talk to us. So we want to be able to put that out for you. We've got a lot of loyal folks out there that are listening and that'll want to know what's up too. So definitely hit us up when you figure out what's the move going forward.
And even how the season even goes, not even just down there,
Yeah.
but even your season. Keep us up to date. We greatly appreciate that. We'd love to have you back on too.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'd love that. I really appreciate this opportunity, and y'all just reaching out to me just means more than y'all can imagine. So
That's
I appreciate
awesome.
it, and that's definitely something I'll definitely look forward to doing.
Absolutely. Hey, like we said, we appreciate you coming on, and we will have the podcast up tonight on anywhere you can listen to them, and then we'll have YouTube up either later tonight or early tomorrow. So you'll be able to see, listen, share, all that too. We'll make sure we get you tagged up.
Cool, sounds good. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Sir, we'll
Thank
talk to you
Have a
later.
good night.
You too. Bye.
You know what? We're on a roll, gentlemen, of good interviews.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had some.
You
good
know,
guys.
we have.
Stand-up
We've
guys.
and just Roll and LeVere there was obviously you could tell definitely aged through his process here and very
Yeah, I mean, you know, and
Very
I'm
mature.
sure he had to kind of mature quickly and grow up quickly, going through, you know, okay, this isn't a good fit for me here, trying to better my career, doing the right things for myself, and you know, through that adversity, you kind of grow up fast, and being as a young kid and working your way up through that, I think it really matures you, and it showed. I mean, he sounds like a awesome, well-rounded guy, good head on his shoulders, so.
Yeah, absolutely. We're on one hell of a roll here, Danny.
That's right, baby. What do we got going on out there, though? Let's talk. I think we got to talk college basketball because that shit's about to start pretty soon, right?
Yeah. So the Kansas Jayhawks won their first Final Four matchup to book a spot in the NCAA tournament national title game Monday as they beat the Villanova Wildcats 81-65. With the win, Kansas will play in its 10th national title game in program history. It joins UCLA, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Duke as the only teams to appear in 10 title games.
Let's go, and we have a warm whiskey wager that needs to be paid up by you two guys.
What's that?
I had Kansas beating Nova, and y'all had Nova.
No, I did not have Nova.
Yeah, Danny and Jimmer
No.
versus
Duke.
Yeah.
The Duke game. No, I didn't bet on Nova.
No.
We would have bet Duke.
Yeah.
But
I
not
would have bet
Nova.
Kansas. I wouldn't have bet Nova, did I?
I'll
take it anyway.
No,
okay. All right, take it.
We were all on the same page with Nova because old boy got hurt, so Kansas was going to beat him up. I think we bet you that Duke was going to win.
Which you still got it anyway.
Which, we'll take that. That's fine. But I'm just to be clear, I
okay.
think that's what it was. Because I said Kansas and Duke. So
Okay.
Yep.
either way, we'll
Either
do
way,
it.
we still owe you
Yeah,
one
we'll do it.
at
But
the
just
end
to
of
be
the
clear,
But could you I'll just get my report here in a second. This will be Kansas coach Bill Self's third national title game appearance. He won the title in 2008 with Kansas when Kansas defeated Memphis. I do believe that was D. Rose. Memphis here. I think Derrick Rose was there with Calipari.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I
that's
think
right.
that was, and if I remember correctly. So, but yeah, there was minor hiccup, little speed bump before they got to this championship. Evidently, they were out and
What are
running.
you pouring?
you better.
What
nice
happened?
try.
Yeah, you better.
What happened?
Real nice try.
What happened?
He's trying to slyly pour the peach crown out for himself.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Actually, it's 10 high that I dumped into the peach bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Oh, damn.
Tough.
Yeah, pass that over. Get you some of that. That's good for your soul.
Yeah, warm me up a little bit. All right, here's my question for you, Rio, while we're getting this shit ready.
Sure.
So Kansas had a way easier route as far as this last game goes, right? They beat up Nova the whole game.
Yeah.
Now, North Carolina, though, a lot of emotion, really tough game against Duke. They eked it out.
Right.
What do you think hurts or helps each team more in that respect?
I think that I could see UNC being drained. They've been on such a great run, even from you say the championship, ACC championship game, beating Coach K, running through, right? And the high of boom, I'm making this run. I beat Baylor, the number 1 seed, even after they come back. Boom, boom, boom. I take out Duke again in a close game. I could see them potentially faltering in this one. In Kansas, beating them up, battering them down in the paint. Good. Good for you.
Yeah, I get where you're going. I think that's definitely possible. It's gonna be an awesome game.
Well,
two of the best teams for sure.
Well, touching on that, you guys already spoiled alert did that, but the Tar Heels did win 81-77.
It's clean too.
As an 8 seed, the Tar Heels are tied for the lowest seeded team to reach the final since seeding began in 1979, which I thought was interesting. North Carolina's 12 title game appearances match Kentucky for the second most in men's NCAA tournament history, behind only UCLA, who has 13.
Yeah, how crazy is it when you think about a team like North Carolina in the finals? They're going to be a big underdog just because they're the 8 seed, right? Versus, when has North Carolina been in the finals? Has been an underdog like that?
Yeah,
Just such a weird year.
Yeah.
it is. Well, they started off slow.
They did. They started off the season slow, and then, like I said, I believe my Longhorns had a win against them early, and just the run they've made is
impressive.
Is very impressive. But
well, think about it for 1 second. They may not have made the NCAA tournament had they not knocked off Duke in the ACC tournament, anyways.
Yeah, if they had a flat ACC tournament, they could have potentially not been in.
Right. And to catch fire like this. So I'm on the fence. So he asked you that. I'm on the fence a little bit. So, yes, they exerted a lot of energy. That was a very good game. If you guys did watch it, that Duke-North Carolina game.
Yeah, it was. I did.
It was highly entertaining. The game was close. It looked like it started getting a little out of hand. Like I think it was like up to 8 or something like that. But then Duke would claw back, right? And maybe even get within there. And then UNC showed Baycott went out. Okay, had one hell of a nasty-looking sprained ankle. Mm-hmm. Ends up basically walking it off. He goes off the court, obviously, walks back, and he jogs right back out there. Now, he ended up fouling out in that game.
Yeah.
But I think him coming out just showed that I'm here for anything, that we're here for the whole thing. Now, you guys said they exert so much energy for that. Kansas may not have had to near as bad. There's a lot of emotions. Obviously, you'd be, especially but that I don't know if that's more the fan base or the players themselves. They didn't look like they over-celebrated. They felt, to me, what I was watching, it looked like they felt like they deserved to be there. Like we've done everything we're supposed to. We're supposed to be here. We believe we're supposed to be here. Their first time in quite a long time. I can't remember what the year was. Who's it? Hubert Davis is their head coach.
Okay.
Yep.
First year head coach. Hasn't happened very many times that you take your team to the national championship game in your first season. He was by far the most emotional, and he wasn't even way too far off. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I've talked to Danny about this. I keep putting them in that same classification as UConn when Kemba Walker and them did it. They had that run through the Big East tournament, cardiac Kemba balling out, and then they go on and they win the national championship. They go through March Madness, they go through the bracket, and they end up winning too. Yeah. It's hard for me to go against UNC right now. They're just doing everything that you think that they're not supposed to.
Right? Yeah. No, I get it. And I'm looking at my picks. And I've been riding both teams for a while, and it's like, man, now who do I go with?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna swing it out there again. Kansas is the more overall talented team. They like to go fast. They like to do this, that, and the other.
They just could not miss.
They can't, and they have all the talent in the world. They can go even faster. I think they get up and down that court.
Playing, I was watching them, and just everything they put up just was going in. It was insane.
Yeah, I don't think that injured player was at Wendell Moore for Villanova. That would not have made.
I don't think it would have made much of a difference.
Not the way they played.
No, Nova. This has been your scrappy season. You've done everything you have to. Jay Wright is one of the best coaches in the nation. Mm-hmm. Every piece of adversity they've went through all season. At one point, they only had like 5 people practicing, stuff like that throughout the season because they had so many injuries and sicknesses and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Kansas looks like they should. I'm going to swing it out there. I'm going UNC.
Okay.
If you want some of that action, either one of you.
Sure. I'm going Kansas.
I'll go Kansas this time too. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ride with that.
Okay.
Tar Heel.
Okay.
Warm whiskey wagers?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Hey, just make sure you don't put Nova on this one.
Just get the.
I'm gonna look that up because I'm sure I want y'all to take another one. So I'll listen to the podcast.
You don't have them both on there, so it'd still only be one. Mm-hmm. We didn't bet both
we
games.
owed a shot, but it wasn't because we bet on Duke.
Yeah.
So it's definitely Kansas.
Yeah, there's no way I would have won.
I know somebody took Nova here.
Definitely
somebody took Nova here, and we did a whiskey wager on it.
We're going to have to listen to it now.
Yeah, we're going to have to listen to it.
Okay.
Somebody did it. There's a reason.
We'll have to listen to it. I don't think so. I'm with you. 1,000%, Danny. I don't think I made that because I literally bet money that Kansas would cover that.
I thought we were all on the same page for Nova, that they weren't going to be able to hang. Yeah. So
I thought the diversity was with
But
Duke.
I know we both bet Duke, yeah. So I don't know. We'll listen to it. The cool part after that game, though.
We're never wrong.
Right. Been misinformed once or twice. That's about it.
A few times.
Coach K's last game, officially. After the game, first thing he does is he walks up to old boy. What's his last name that rolled his ankle?
Babcock.
Babcock, right? He walked up to him. He's like, I hope you're okay. He's like, you were my vote for Player of the Year. Like, first thing he did was walked up to him. He's like, man, I hope you're okay. So cool,
Dude, well,
cool.
well, he's a monster too. Babcock was. I mean, what his double was at like it's an average. You know, that's what he does. He had 21 rebounds in that game, gentlemen. 8 of them were offensive rebounds. That's what Baycott had. You know, like, and he was a difference. We got to touch. Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from UNC and what they've done and Hubert Davis and all that, but we obviously got to touch on Coach K, right? And me and you talked about this. Growing up, I'm not a diehard college fan. I was very loose-based, and I was technically a Tar Heel fan because I was a Jordan, anything Michael Jordan did. So I was a Tar Heel guy, and I used to always hate Duke, and I still kind of do, you know. But it's so hard to not respect Coach K in general. So I wanted to see him go on that one. I'd like to see the fairy tales end like that. Kobe didn't end with a championship. You know what Kobe ended up with his final game, 60-plus points. So, you know, I like to see that one thing that you can do at the end of something special. We just touched on Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one thing. Peyton Manning wasn't a glorious version in the Super Bowl, but he still passed for over 200 yards and won a Super Bowl, and it's walk-off.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I like seeing the stars and, you know, go out with something special. And like Mariano Rivera, I don't know if you'll watch this final, but that was awesome. You know, them walking out to pull him off the mound after he had struck out a couple guys. And, yeah, I mean, for sure. It sucks that he lost. Like I said, I was riding UNC, but – you know, I was almost leaning the other way the betting night. I was like, man, it's so hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah.
But I ultimately stuck with UNC still and bet that way.
Those cats, those young men played their hearts out. So there's nothing. This isn't like the last time in the ACC tournament or whatever
Right,
the
they
last
got
game.
stomped, yeah.
Yeah, it was exactly. It was nothing like that. They played their hearts out. It was down to the last wire. I feel for that Williams who missed 2 free throws. The second free throw was even worse like it was in his head. He missed that one so miserably. Yeah. Coach K ultimately did hurt himself in a few timeouts. They were on one hell of a run on one. Can't remember why he called timeout. He called timeout even though they were on like a 13-4 run. Duke was. It was just an odd time to go ahead and do it, and then they could collect themselves. And I do believe North Carolina went on like a 9 or 10 run, 10-point run, 10-0. You know what I'm saying? So kind of, you know what? We can pick apart this, that, and the other. We can do this, you know. But at the end of the day, dude's a legend. He is, in my opinion, I've been hearing this everywhere, and I agree with this 1,000%. On the Mount Rushmore, he's the face that sticks out the most. Like, he's the one that you stick out even more. Even over the great John Wooden. There was, like, how many conferences? There's, like, 8 conferences back then. It's not the same. This dude played in a completely different era now, and what he's been able to do.
Yeah.
So, good?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to continue with the college basketball. Number 1, South Carolina won the program's second national championship with a 64-49 victory over the 2-seed UConn on Sunday at Target Center. Technically, I have this written as the Gamecocks, but is it okay to call them the Ladycocks? Is that
Galcocks? What would be?
The Gamecocks became the 8th program to win multiple national titles in the NCAA women's basketball history. Did not know that. Thought there'd be like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Nope. Joining UConn, who has 11. Tennessee has 8. Stanford has 3. Baylor has 3. Notre Dame has 2. USC has 2. And Louisiana Tech has 2.
What?
Yeah. That's
Louisiana Tech, huh?
Yeah, that must have been back in the day, though, like, right?
Jeez.
So South Carolina, who is 35-2, is also the 12th team to go wire to wire, number 1 in the AP poll and win it all. They owned this game. I watched this game. I watched a high majority, if not. I think I watched I only missed the last couple minutes, but it was so far out of hand.
They made a run.
They made a little baby run.
For a little bit. Yeah.
They brought it back within like half-ass respectable. I think within 5 or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then no, Carolina just turned it on.
Yeah, I think that moment has been in Eli Johnson's head for an entire year.
From last year, that
I don't know if anybody listening, if you watch that game. I think it was the Final Four game,
yes.
But when they were down by 1 and she drove and had a clean shot at a layup and missed it,
yep.
and
lost to Stanford.
in tears. Probably should have made the shot, but just for whatever reason, the bounce didn't go her way. And I think she's been on a mission all year, and for her to come back and then they put a stamp on it, I think that was awesome.
Beat the bricks off of them. Even with, I understand. The one thing, there's a couple things I have to say. You said you watched some of it, right? Did you get a chance to watch any of it?
Just a little bit. I seen it was like Runaway, so I was just.
So a couple things I want to touch on. Number one, they're doing a lot of the dual telecasts now.
Yeah.
So they have Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird on there.
Yeah.
Kind of cool the way they chat. They're chatting with like these superstars and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They have a cup. I still want to know what's in the cup.
Yeah.
You see that? The red Solo cup. I'm like, there's some drink going on because their eyes are getting a little fuzzy.
Did you hear some of that conversation?
No.
Oh my God. Some of that conversation.
We're getting nasty.
They're talking about what do you do with the D on the court? And yeah, you should listen to it. It's fucking hilarious.
I listened to some, but that must have
God.
been before the juice started actually hitting the veins there.
You should listen. They throw
That's
a couple
awesome. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
puns out there that it's just like holy shit.
No, they know what they're
and
doing.
you can tell because they laugh as well and stop for a minute.
So you know what's awesome about that? Chicks are just as filthy as dudes. So like
Oh,
when they're not
man.
around
Right,
anyone
right.
and they're doing
Yeah.
their girl thing, absolutely.
Oh
they
yeah,
talk.
it's hilarious. If you're into something like that, like me, I think that's And when it's females doing it, I almost think it's like 10 times more funny.
Yeah.
And they certainly have a comedy side of themselves, I think, and that was cool to see them let it out.
Yeah.
I think women's sport, I feel like they're almost all careful because
Like they
there's
feel like
not much of it.
Well, that and they feel like they have to be like act ladylike or something like.
Right,
You can
and-
still have a little bit of that and have a little bit of class, but it doesn't mean you still can't cut loose and have a good time. Like
right, and
anyone
they were
judging that should
definitely-
go fuck themselves.
Right,
so.
exactly, and they were
100%.
cutting loose for sure. So you have to go check it out. It is. Funny.
I'm gonna listen to that part because I
It is
did
funny.
miss that. I watched some of it. The other one I was to talk about with the telecast was the main one, and it drove me nuts. Like I want to go on the other side of the TV and choke whoever the dude is. Kept calling her Paige Beckers.
Instead of Bukers, yeah.
It's Bukers every single
Bukers,
time. It
yeah.
was Beckers. I'm like, say it right. How is someone not
Dude,
corrected this
some
person?
of these announcers mess up the names so much that it gets in your head.
Yeah.
And you start thinking that way instead of, right? Like,
Yeah. But how does
yeah.
somebody, not a producer or somebody, be like, hey, bro, on a TV timeout, it's Bukers.
Right.
It's Bukers. Plain and simple. It
Yeah,
drove me
sometimes
nuts.
those guys get dug in, though. They're like, no, this is how I'm saying it. It's like,
Yeah, no, dude, don't
bullshit.
get to, then you find a new job.
by the way, got to give her props too, man. She is so good.
Yeah.
She is so good. There's a few, and obviously there's highlights and everything about the game that's out there too, but she's just 5-on-1 doesn't matter with her,
Right,
right?
I
Like,
saw a few.
Almost
she
as
was
good as
sliding
almost,
to the lane,
almost
step
as good
back.
as Caitlin Curry.
very similar when you watch
Yeah,
that. Very
they are.
similar, yeah.
They are very. I did want to touch on Gino was 11-0 until that in national title games. He was already one ahead of Wooden, who had 10-0 at college level, but couldn't keep that streak alive.
Yeah, I think as
They played big.
So I talked about college basketball, and I was mainly talking about men's at the time, but I felt like the competition has kind of expanded, right? Anybody can win.
Yes.
And I think that is 100% true for female basketball.
Yes,
we talked about UConn
It's not down
being
to
so,
8 or less now.
Right, and we talked about UConn being so dominant, and that was a school that all the hammers, the studs went to.
Yep.
And now we're seeing, South Carolina, Iowa's always up there, Texas is always up there.
Yep.
Alabama, I believe, women's is always up there.
Stanford's
Stanford's
I
up
think
there,
they LSU,
yeah.
Baylor.
Yeah, I mean, I think the talent has really started to spread out, and that just attests to, women and females in general not just wanting to go to, okay, they're winning, let's go to that school. Maybe let's go to this one.
It's starting to catch on with them that they can shine out somewhere
right,
else.
I can shine and develop and play well for another coach, and what they're preaching, what they're teaching, and all that kind of thing. So I think it is great for women's sports or women basketball.
It is because at some point, did you not get tired? We were talking about that
Of UConn
of
always
UConn all the time. I'm like, dude, nobody
Again,
wants to see this shit anymore.
Right, exactly.
It was the bracket was chalk.
Yeah.
Every year. It was always chalk. It was
It was down to 2,
Yep.
and if that one team could upset
Yep.
UConn, if they could, and obviously they couldn't because they were 11-0 up until that point, right?
Right.
And I'm with you. They've spread it out so much better, like so much more. It used to be Pat Summitt that tried to balance some of that out, but
Yeah.
So because it was like Tennessee and then them, but it's gotten so much more spread out. The talent is there. South Carolina dominated UConn, and I'm talking about dominated physically, boards, everything.
Yep.
Gino Auriemma took a timeout or had a timeout not conference or whatever, where the reporter comes over and talks to him, right? Mm-hmm. And he was a loss for words, just like what I just did right there. Literally a loss for words. He didn't even know how to answer the question. He literally paused, like, Same thing.
Yep.
You know, he didn't know it's not what it used to be. And I'm not saying the dude will never win one again. That'd be stupid to say because he still brings in ridiculous talent, obviously, right?
He's obviously a good
But
coach.
it's going to be a hell of a lot harder. He will not see undefeated seasons anymore.
Yeah.
Not unless like certain shit.
They're
not unless what I mean is not unless certain stuff falls their way.
Yeah.
You know, I think those are going to be few and far between from here on out.
Right.
Because the talent starts spreading out.
Yeah.
That Notre Dame, we forgot about Notre Dame ladies are usually up in there too. You know.
Yep.
So.
You know his real first name? Gino, I think, is his middle name.
Okay.
It's Luigi.
Luigi?
No way.
That's a boss ass name.
Yeah.
He looks like a
Isn't that
Luigi now that you say it, though.
Yeah.
He does. He looks like a Luigi.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to one that piqued my interest, gentlemen. And maybe it doesn't yours. But Tiger Woods says it will be a game-time decision on whether he competes in the 86th Masters, which is scheduled to begin Thursday. Woods gave the update in a tweet Sunday, writing that he would be returning to Augusta National Golf Club to continue my preparation and practice. Woods played an 18-hole practice round at Augusta National on Tuesday. This is obviously good for golf, right? Bare minimum.
Yeah, I think so. You know, there's a couple names sitting out of this tournament, so if Tiger plays, that'd be big-time viewer-wise. I mean,
yeah,
people tuning in to watch.
See Tigger, baby. Yeah. When he's in, don't you automatically get a false sense, even though he's obviously well past his prime, you still believe he could still win.
Yeah.
Like in the back of your mind, right?
Yep.
Like you're
it's
like, dude,
man, if he goes on a run. Like,
yeah, because it's Tiger.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. I just worry. Like, I don't know if you saw any of so I think he did 9 holes today or something like that. Swinging looks fine, but like it's the walking. Like he's seeing him walking slightly uphill and things like that.
We got to get rule change, man. Let's go carts.
Yeah.
It
I
just
thought Cat got
looks
that
like
pass.
a struggle.
Yeah, it needs to happen.
Yeah. That's what I worry about. I hope he can play, but then I hope he can stay.
Right.
If he starts
They don't
it,
enter it unless you can make the full
Yep.
4 days or whatever.
Yep.
Right.
If you make the cut, I should say.
Yep.
Putting you on the spot. Who are you thinking favorite for your Masters? If you want me to go first, I'll give you my 1-2. I'm thinking John Rahm. I'll give you the 1 because John Rahm is literally he's on the front he's a favorite anyway on all sporting or so far on all sporting apps, betting apps. But I'm gonna give you my little dark horse. I'm gonna go Morikawa. I don't know if you guys are feeling anything different. You can go Tigger too.
Tigger's gonna win if he plays. So
I don't know. Where's
I like that. I like
who
that.
is playing? I guess
it's diluted a little bit, right? That's the thing.
John Rahm went on one hell of a tear last year, and then he got a little sick, a little COVID stuff. A few things happened to him.
Okay.
I just feel like it was old boy won it last year. The Japanese or Asian player? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's looking up his name. Like I said, I should have put you quite on the spot like that. I could have brought it up before that, but
was that Hideki
Yeah.
Matsuyama?
Batsuyama.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I'd love to say Jordan Spieth. He had a heck of a year and then has just fallen off.
I know,
Texas
hasn't
boy
he? Yeah.
as well, but he had that amazing year.
He had that amazing year, and then he's fallen off since
right.
then.
He
Right.
got his big deal with Under Armour, I believe.
Oh, is it Under Armour?
I think so.
I'm telling you, every time these cats go to Nike, Under Armour, and they're not sticking with their normal clubs, something always goes weird. It's like Rory fell off after he went to Nike.
Yeah.
Stick to the Callaway. Stick to what golf does, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. God, man, I'd love to see Patrick Reed make a run as well. Man, he's fun to watch, but he's been hurt. John Rahm, man, he has been balling out. He's finished top 10 a lot, but you know what? I'll go probably Justin Thomas.
Okay.
On this, he's been playing really well.
So So the only reason why I didn't go with
5 top 10s and 9 starts.
okay.
I didn't know that Scotty Scheffler was doing so damn well.
Start picking it up, baby.
1 to 3 of the last 5
What do you
he's
think?
played.
What are you thinking there, Danny?
Tigger.
You thinking Tigger if he plays?
Yeah, if he plays,
Okay.
Tigger's going to win it.
All
Let's
right.
go.
He's calling it right now.
If he wins, we split the bottle. If somebody else wins, we'll take the field. And you gotta drink the rest of the bottle.
This isn't Tigger in his
What?
prime.
What?
This isn't Tigger in his prime, bro. No.
Dude, you remember those though? Seriously, it'd be Tiger versus the field.
Yeah.
And more times than not, you'd take Tiger.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like hold on, I'm taking
Hey,
a
man,
safe bet.
I'm ready for golfing. Man,
So am
I
I.
tell you, I just ordered a driver wood 3 and a 5, and it should be here sometime next week. So ready to get out there.
There we
again.
go. Can't wait.
I was thinking about going today, but we had some stuff we were doing, and
Hopefully, some exciting stuff. A little shout out to CrossFit. How did he say that? Cheer on.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yep. We'll get that 100% correct. So hopefully that works. You
Yeah.
can check that out in Mason. Regardless, it's a good ass atmosphere. So workout. Yeah, I can't wait for golf either. My golf cart's getting worked on, and as soon as it's done, it's getting
Yeah, they
primed.
said it
and
was
we're
going to
rocking.
be done today.
I didn't call him today. We had all that going on, trying to sleep in between, blah blah blah. So I will be calling tomorrow. We'll be figuring this out. So we'll get to some NFL. Get to some NFL quick hitters first. The Texans have signed running back Marlon Mack. The 2017 fourth-round pick tore an Achilles in the 2020 opener and missed the rest of the season. The same season that Jonathan Taylor took over. Never looked back. Mack played in just 6 games for Indy last season, requested a trade before the November 2nd trade deadline.
Yeah, good pickup for sure. I think he helps that backfield instantly becomes number 1.
Yeah.
I think he was balling out, and then, of course, you drafted a guy in the draft, and I think you kind of have to commit to him when you do pick a running back that high.
He had almost 1,100 yards that season.
Yeah, the
that
year
he kinda
before.
did. Yeah.
And I think he ran well, ran hard.
I think he even missed a couple games.
He just kind of fell out of favor. They liked that Hines, and then, of course, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
And, I think they should have traded him.
They should have. They should have got something out of it.
Something for him, and now he just walks for nothing.
I'm like, you could have got a 7th-round pick?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a stud, and not just because somebody has to run the ball for the bad Texans team.
You know who all? Yeah, absolutely. You know who wins? Everybody that plays fantasy football, because now you have a RB1 possibility out there.
I think so.
You know what I'm saying? Low end RB1, but regardless, like there's not very many of them, and now you just added one because he's clearly the best running back on that Texans roster right now. I think it's like Rex Burkhead and then a couple guys I don't know really.
Yeah, is the kid from UNI still there? David Johnson? Is he still?
No, not when I seen it in the article. I don't think.
Sure.
Maybe, but he's still not the same either.
Yeah,
as
he's
what
not
He was.
the- yeah,
He
so,
hasn't been in a
for
long
sure.
time.
Marlon Mack is.
But yeah, he's clearly number 1.
yeah.
for sure.
So you know who wins? Fantasy. That's who
Yeah.
wins.
and the Texans,
100%.
but yeah.
And the Texans. They got one hell of a player. We'll see how the draft goes. Let's see. The Dolphins. Speaking of which, our guest, Dolphins fan, and cornerback Xavier Howard agreed to a 5-year contract. The deal is worth $50.6 million in new money and gives Howard the most guaranteed cash for a cornerback in NFL history. Howard had 3 years, $39 million remaining on his 5-year, $75 million contract that he signed in 2020, but had grown discontent with the deal entering the 2021 season because they had paid Byron Jones 5-year, $81 million in free agency.
Yeah, I was about to say he finally gets his money, so I hope you're happy.
He still balled out last year, right?
Yeah.
So it isn't like he isn't worth that.
Really good. Yeah.
It's hard for me to ever back somebody that literally you were like a year and a half or 2 years into your 5-year contract. Like,
Yeah.
bro, you signed it at that time. Market goes up. That's what happens.
Right. I will give him, there was never any studs on that D-line. He still balled out,
Yeah.
Creating pressure.
Yep.
It was just kind of an average D-line. But I think he's, definitely one of the top corners in the game for sure. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of agree. You signed that contract, a big contract, and you just wanted a different one because your guy across from you got a bigger one than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm like, the market changes. That's like, honestly, it's literally like you selling your stock.
right.
And then that stock went up
Yeah, I mean,
a couple dollars a piece on each one that you have.
I know we talk about Dak getting paid too much, but somebody's going to pay him. But that number's not going to look too bad.
And that number isn't going to look too bad in a year or two.
Right, except next year when all these quarterbacks get paid. Yeah,
that ain't going to look bad. Just
Market's gonna change.
Just like Kirk Cousins didn't look bad like it was like a year or two afterwards. It really didn't ultimately because they started paying dudes like $38 million over his 33.
Yeah. Right.
So ultimately, yeah,
it looks bad at first, and then as everybody else starts getting paid down the line, it looks whatever.
Keeping with the Dolphins, the Patriots have acquired Dolphins wide receiver Devontae Parker and a 2022 fifth-round draft pick in exchange for a 2023 third-round pick.
Yeah, I heard the Cowboys were in the mix for this, but ultimately didn't want to give up a third-round pick. We chatted earlier today. Weird they would go in the division.
Yeah.
How often,
that doesn't happen very often.
You don't see that often.
Right.
You'll see them pick them up if they cut them, stuff like that. But you rarely see them trade.
And what we were talking, I told him, I was like, I wonder if it was the highest draft pick they were going to get. Maybe everybody,
and they just didn't care.
Right at that point, they're like,
you know what? He misses at least half the games a season.
Right.
I will deal with a chance of you missing him, and we'll get the third round pick.
Yeah.
Parker's got some upside, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if
he
plays
can stay
enough.
healthy. I think that's awesome for that offense.
Yeah. And he's a damn good receiver when he's healthy. He really is. It takes him a couple games usually to kick the rust off, and then he's a fantasy contributor, for instance. Like right out of the game. He's easily a wide receiver, too, on your fantasy and when he's healthy. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you look up, he has 90-something yards and a touchdown and like 5-6 catches,
Yeah.
What I see on Twitter, hilarious. It was a sports reporter or whatever. He's like, I'm going to ask Devon after his first practice, I'm going to ask him what it feels like to have a quarterback actually hit you in stride.
Oh.
I was like, oh, my gosh.
Damn.
Throwing shade.
Hey, if I were Mac Jones, it isn't like I'd be like jumping out of the gym for this one. Like when he's out there for those half games.
Right.
You got something to throw to, absolutely.
Right. Throw it to him 20 times in those 7 games he's going to play.
Yeah, Mac, you've got those tight ends, man. You'll be fine.
There we go. There's that Patriot, baby.
You know how crazy it was? They signed both of them boys to decent contracts and didn't use them.
Yeah.
Not quite. Yeah.
They ran the fuck out of the ball.
Yeah, Jonnu and
Hunter.
Henry Hunter.
Yep. He used his receivers, actually, though. No-namers.
Yeah.
Kendrick Bourne and some of those cats. Here's a big one. Colin Kaepernick threw to undrafted receivers at halftime of Michigan's spring game for NFL scouts on Saturday. Kaepernick was invited to Michigan by Coach Jim Harbaugh, who mentored Kaepernick with the 49ers and was an honorary captain for the spring game. He was joined by producer Spike Lee, who is filming a documentary on Kaepernick as he navigates a job hunt for another spot on an NFL roster. We still get out there and sling it, Kaepernick told reporter Gianna Trotman. So nobody talked to him like directly afterwards, as in there wasn't like a bunch of. So it's just this lady right here. Really getting out here for the exhibition was to show that I can still do it. It's one of the questions my agent keeps getting. So we want to make sure we can come out and show everyone I can still play and still throw it.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. So did you hear that? What? This is something I just learned today, and it pissed me off. So Harbaugh, during the interview process with the Vikings, floated the idea of bringing Cap in to the Vikings.
So you wanted him?
Well, obviously now that I know that totally changes how I felt about him coming on board. But yeah, that was. So
you still want him really hard, right?
Man.
So here's the deal. I think
I don't want anybody really hard, Jimmy.
I think he would, if he could commit to, hey, okay, I'm probably not going to be the starter, or I'm not going to be the starter. Let me settle on being a backup. I think he could be a serviceable backup.
He did say the other day that he would be willing to.
I did see that, but I think he's kind of fucked himself by.
He's done everything the wrong way since that when he didn't take that right out of the gate in the first couple years.
And I think that's what's turned people off. And it's like, okay, well, he was already acting this way. He might be just saying this thing, but might want to actually feel like he should be the starter and whatnot. I think he's played it all wrong. But if he could have been like, hey, I just
want to be on the NFL team, and maybe I can beat someone out, but let me get on the roster.
Let me be a Chase Daniels for a while, and I'm in the NFL. I make decent money, and
you know how rare it is, especially with adding a 17 game that every quarterback makes it through the season. You could have came in and played. So he did that to himself to a certain extent.
Let me talk and touch on that Michigan spring game because I did watch it.
Did you?
So I don't know, but so their offense was kind of figuring to be the strong point.
Yeah.
Their offense looked like dog shit. The defense actually played damn well.
That's usually
I know it is a spring game or whatever, but the offense looked really bad, and that was one of the things we,
maybe they were thinking about bringing Cap back for a year of eligibility.
Got a
Ohio
year or
State
two, baby.
What'd I say? 30? Ohio State by 30? Was that the bet?
Yeah, it was.
I do
Something
have it
like
written
that.
down,
He's feeling
yeah.
pretty confident over there now.
For
She's like,
sure.
appreciate you. Yeah, so that's where we were. Running back Frank Gore said he plans to sign a one-day contract with the 49ers and retire as a member of the team that drafted him. Gore was the third-round pick of the 49ers out of Miami in the 2005 draft. He played the first 10 years of his career in San Fran before stops in Indy, Miami, Buffalo, and the Jets. He did not play for a team last year. Gore had 9 1,000-yard rushing seasons and has played in more games than any other player in NFL history at 241. His 16,000 rush yards ranks third all-time behind Hall of Famers Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton. He's the fourth all-time in yards from scrimmage with 19,985. Fifth all-time in all-purpose yards, 19,902. And Gore finishes his career with exactly 100 total touchdowns.
Yeah. Stud running back and I'll always remember him for no matter when and where he got the ball, he'd always run hard.
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
Just a powerful, bruising run. That's another guy I would not want to tackle. We talk about Derrick Henry, right?
No, that's
I would not want to tackle.
That's the reason why we were so shocked that Darren Williams beat him in that boxing match.
Beat him
100%.
bad, too.
Yeah.
And we were. Because when you see Frank Gore, you don't.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. What I remember is the adversity that he went through, because early on in his career there was a lot of injuries, and just couldn't quite get out there, couldn't stay out there, and then all of a sudden his career, he was the Iron Man after that. Dude wouldn't miss a game and everything I've heard and everything I've read is that every player is a huge fan of his, as in definitely, any player, but I'm more specifically running backs. He's constantly trying to teach even his own younger, like whenever he's on these other teams, the Jets and stuff, he's trying to teach them too. He is looking and hoping that he can go into the 49ers front office on some version on player personnel. So, because he likes doing that type of stuff, he said.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Very cool.
this should be I know you got a question. What do you got?
I don't have a question. No, just thinking about because we talked a little bit about Hall of Fame with him, right? And he's kind of a unique guy because due to longevity and, he's number 3 all time in rushing, things like that. It's like he's got to make the Hall of Fame, right?
First ballot.
But
I think so.
at no point in my opinion, was he the best running back in the NFL in his career.
You're not wrong by that. So yes, with that
that's
context
what makes
now,
it hard for me.
But and so I'm with you. But in today's society with the running backs, there's going to be so few of them first ballot, anyways. He'll be first ballot because AP's hoping that he can go on another year or whatever.
Yeah,
they'll be going in about the same time. Not the same time, but Adrian will be first ballot. This guy will be, because there's not very many of them, that have the longevity, the yards, and on the career list like that. So
right. 5-time Pro Bowl, 2010 All-Decade Team, Art Rooney Award. BCS National Champion.
Miami.
I was going to say, is that Miami? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. The U.
60,000 rush yards, 4.3 yards per carry. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, what Danny's saying, though, is like there's a difference between reading all the stats and reading his accolades and actually at any point thinking they were the best at their position during a certain time.
Right.
And he wasn't.
That's a struggle.
He might have been
deserves it.
He might have been
Right,
top 3 or 4 at any particular year.
Yeah.
You were never mad to have him on your fantasy team. You were never mad, even having him on your true team, and if he was if they were your favorite team.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, 16,000 yards says a lot. everything, all of his other accomplishments. So first ballot, I think that one's pretty easy. It would be a little different if it was a quarterback or wide receiver. We'd be having, I believe, a different conversation. Especially with so few running backs.
Right.
They look at that too when they spread it out too.
9,000-yard rushing seasons.
Yep. Yeah, I just went over that. We have an echo in here.
Oh, I was just looking at a few things. What he's got. He only had double-digit touchdowns once.
Yeah. But sometimes guys just don't get them. I mean, who was it? Andre Johnson's one of the best receivers of all time.
I suppose if you count a couple of his
receiving,
he does have a couple.
Yeah, but even still, Andre Johnson, we can all agree, is one of the beast wide receivers of his era, right? He's one of the best wide receivers of his era. I'm not talking about of all time, but of his 10-year career or in that ballpark, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't have touchdowns to match it.
Right.
He never had anybody.
I was going to
say,
I'm with
you. No, I'm with you. I'm still saying that he's the first ballot or should be in the first. I shouldn't say first ballot, but definitely first couple seasons.
Beating the shit out of Cortland.
Yeah, poor Cortland Finnegan. That is thug nasty.
No matter
what is that? Thug nasty, baby.
No matter what, I'll always remember him for that.
Because Andre Johnson was such a quiet guy, dude.
He was, yeah.
You never see that. And Cortland had a reputation of being nasty, talking shit. Andre's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I will throw your I will
fast.
throw your 5'9" ass around this field.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, all I was alluding to was like just because you don't have necessarily the touchdowns, doesn't mean that you shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. And that's my first one I always think of is Andre Johnson got hosed because he didn't have the person to throw him the touchdowns.
Yep.
There's another one that I was just thinking of who the touchdowns never lined up. Just recently because they'd never find him in the end zone. Not Amari. Someone else. It's eluding me right now. But just for whatever reason, never find him in the end or in the red zone, end zone. But he'd be that between the 20s all day. It'll come to me though.
Steelers?
Not Antonio. Yeah, they all get touchdowns. No, I'm talking about like literally even more recent than that.
Okay.
Like. And a kind of a stud receiver just would never get in the end zone though. Like he would give you that 9 reception, 150 plus yard game, but the touchdown wouldn't be there because they could never just find him. And it's not dawning on me. It'll click here in a second, but the Saints doubled up on first round picks in this year's NFL draft, while the Eagles pushed one of their 3 first rounders back into the 2023 as a result of a blockbuster trade on Monday. Mm-hmm. In the trade, the Saints received 2 2022 first-round picks, number 16 and number 19, and a 2022 sixth-round pick, which is like 194, while the Eagles received 1 2022 first-round pick, which was number 18. So they went up a spot from their 19, but gave up the 16 for that, whatever. And a 2023 first-round pick, a 2024 second-round pick, plus a 2022 third round, and a 7th-round selection after the trade. The Eagles will still pick twice in this draft, as they also own the pick number 15.
Saints going after a quarterback?
Yeah, you got it.
That's what I'm
so
thinking.
When
I saw this, that's the first thing I thought.
That's all you're doing, right?
Yep.
You're about to compile these picks to get up ahead, to grab. So we all agree on that. Are we all going to agree on who they're trying to go for?
Malik, if he's there.
You think Malik?
I think Malik, if he's there.
Will he be there?
Well, that's why we're
saying. No. They'll compile those first round picks
to
move up.
I see what you're saying. Huh.
So, what are you thinking?
Yeah, are you going with that, or are you going with the conservative? Right, that's the question ultimately.
I think
I like Matt Corral myself,
but you can get him. But you can get him in the second.
You can probably get him a little later. Kenny Pickett's okay. I'm scared of the whole ACC deal.
Because that's the conservative route, right? It's conservative versus talent or potential.
Right, Malik.
Yeah.
He's showed out.
Where everyone's putting these quarterbacks. I don't think old boy has had his UNC's pro day, but the two consensus quarterbacks, Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they're legit looking at quarterback, it's got to be Malik because they don't need a quarterback to start this year. And if you're getting Kenny Pickett, you probably need somebody to start right now, and he can.
I'm going the other way. I think they're going for Kenny Pickett. I don't think they can get high enough for Malik anyway. Not with those. That's too far of a dip still because they would have to get ahead of Carolina. Carolina is what, the 4 pick?
Yeah, they're up there. Yeah,
they to get into that realm, they're not. They don't even have a top 10 pick, so you don't even have a top 10 pick to hand to them. Plus an extra 1 or 2 is usually what it takes. You don't even have one in the top 10 to even have them drop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's got to be Kenny Pickett because I think Malik Willis.
Be gone.
I would be shocked if Carolina does not take him or somebody even a little sooner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't think they have. I don't think they gathered enough assets to get up ahead of the. I'd have to look at
Jags, Texans, Carolina, right?
Is that what it is?
Jets.
Yeah, Jags, Detroit, Houston. Detroit needs one. Houston needs one. You have the Jets. Number 6 is Carolina.
I honestly, too, I could see Houston throwing a wrench and picking QB.
A QB?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see it too. That's what I'm saying. So you have the Lions, you have Houston, both need a quarterback. You need then number 6 pick is Carolina. You don't have enough, even with the picks you just picked up, to get ahead of that for Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis has separated himself with this pro day so far. Unless you guys feel different. I think he separated himself from the rest of the pack. And I think he's that prized possession. I don't think they have enough to get him, so I think they already know they can't get him, and they're grabbing what they believe is the second best quarterback in this class. Mm-hmm. I like Kenny Pickett. I don't know if he is the second best. I have no idea. I'm not going to debate that.
I know it scares me because
I'm with you.
I think of Mitch Trubisky, right? Balls
and,
out.
And the baby hands. He has a lot of fumbles.
Exactly.
That wasn't a
right?
joke.
He doesn't carry the ball well.
No.
Yeah, it's wide away from his body. I get the Mitch vibes, unfortunately. Putting up good numbers in the ACC.
I think we're all on the same page. We are all on the same page that we believe they did this for a quarterback. You wouldn't do all this for. You basically you actually kind of gave a shitload away to gather an extra first round pick this year. You only do that for a quarterback, right? You're already in the ballpark of possibly getting a receiver. Maybe if they thought one of the receivers was that Studley.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But
maybe because Michael
you
Thomas.
wouldn't have had to trade because receivers
there's
are so deep
many.
this year.
Yeah, you could easily, as he start. I don't know. I'm thinking it's quarterback. I think we're all on the same page. I think we're a little differing.
Kenny Pickett could be gone too.
Could be, but you can.
So if you're going quarterback, then they would be forced to take Corral way too early. Then, right? If that's legit,
you wouldn't have needed to do it for that.
Right.
Thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So that's the reason why I think you can, after Malik, which is the quote unquote prized possession at quarterback this year. After that, these other guys, I didn't have Kenny Pickett. Maybe Kenny Pickett cracks the top 10, but maybe no one fell in love with him. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. It just
and
they would
and they would give up for they may love him. Some of these other teams might not, and they'll just stack themselves up. I don't think they can get Malik Willis. I don't think you have enough draft assets unless you're going to give. You just gave your first rounder for next year away already for this, right? I mean, you don't have. You give around 2 middle of the first round picks for. That isn't what the going rate is in the top 5. Yeah. And Malik Willis is going to go in the top 5. If it gets out of the top 5, it's number 6. That's Carolina.
What else could they? They know this, right? What else could they be going after then?
It's got to be Kenny Pickett. That's the reason why I'm 100% convinced. It
seems like a lot. So.
Well, I don't know. Jets. You said Carolina's at 6.
Yep. Both New York teams are before that.
So, the Jets, I could see them coming back for those. You have who you think is the guy. Let me get 2 middle of the round picks. I'll get weapons on offense.
Well, they have the 10th round or the 10th pick too, right? It isn't showing up on here.
The Jets, right?
Yeah, I think they have the 4th and the 10th.
That's what I'm saying. You trade that 4th, you get 2 more first rounds.
That'd be stupid on the Jets' part, but I could see him doing it.
Right,
yeah.
But here's what I'm saying, right? Okay, we got our quarterback. Probably shouldn't pick a wide receiver right there, Let's fall back. We can take whoever we want at 10. And then our next middle of the round, we could even potentially trade that
You
other
don't
one.
you don't
I
have to you don't have to sell me on it. Like I agree, like,
Yeah.
but I don't think
But yeah.
that wouldn't be the smart move because
I thi-
you can get way more than that for that draft. pick.
Regardless, I think they're moving for a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I just don't know. And maybe you are right. Maybe the Jets have shown it over their history. They're not extremely intelligent. You'd be underselling your team by only getting 2 middle of the first round picks.
Well, I mean,
And not a few, unless it's a way down the road. So now you're giving up 2 first-round picks this year. You already gave up your 1 for next year in this trade, and then you'd have to give up another one down the road.
right. But if you think he's the guy,
I'm with you.
Right.
I'm with you. Yes, but
right? No, I'm on board. I don't think the quarterback class is great. I'm even not sure.
And I'm not even talking about that. Usually, teams don't want to go out that far when you're
Right.
talking about giving up first-round picks. So either you'd have to go out 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, maybe the Jets are silly enough. Maybe they wait for Kenny Pickett to fall a little bit, and I could see the Giants doing it. That at 5, maybe.
Yeah.
So if Malik Willis makes it to number 6, they would have to compete with Atlanta, who may take Kenny Pickett. Right? They need a quarterback, but I think they're going wide receiver. I think we're all there. I believe so at least, or a defensive player. And then the Seahawks, who may not be sold on him either, but I don't know. It's for a quarterback regardless.
Yeah.
Just don't know where they're going to go up to get it. But let's go back to the notes. Nets. Ben Simmons will not be making his season debut in the regular season as he continues to deal with a herniated disc issue in his back. Nets coach Steve Nash said that while he remains hopeful that Simmons will return at some point in the playoffs, he would be shocked if Simmons played in the Nets play-in game next week. He basically said that dude's not even jogging around, so no, we're not shocked though. I assume.
No. Disappointing.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
We're not. It's such a. I was thinking about this today, right? All these crazy things happening, and like what we knew as the dominant NBA players of the last at least 10 years, I would say. It's almost like we're seeing the transition happen like in front of our face. I'm talking about the whole league. I'm talking about like LeBron. I'm talking about James Harden has been booty for a few years. You know what I'm saying? Or it feels like it. Maybe it's only been a year and a half or whatever it is. But it seems like and all these guys are kind of slipping. Westbrook. There's a couple more I was thinking of. I'm like, God,
Yeah.
it just
Did
seems
you
like we're in
see
that.
LeBron's tweet on Friday, by the way, too?
Yeah.
Like,
Which one?
How dumb are you to that April Fool's tweet that he did?
Oh, I didn't see that.
He's like, all right, guys, yeah, I'm out till fall. We'll see you later or something like that. And everybody's like, you guys aren't even going to make the fucking playoffs and you want to joke about
Yeah, dude, this isn't a joke right now. Like, that
Yeah.
isn't a...
I think he does it every year, though.
No,
I think he puts out a fake tweet. every year.
You're right. Oh, fake tweet, yes. But
Yeah.
what he's saying is like pick a different way, pick a different one.
Yeah, like you're
Like
not
you guys
going to make the playoffs.
doesn't
with
look
this
like you
thing.
guys have been showing up all season, so
Yeah.
we're not shocked that you're missing it until
Yeah.
fall. So
Yeah.
It is crazy to see LeBron-led team
there's
and
glass. I'm
a
afraid.
Durant-led team.
Should have yelled Kobe.
10 and
Could have
11.
went in.
What's that?
It would have gone in.
Yeah. No, that I haven't been putting the Lakers stuff on here. Tired of talking about it. It's
Good.
they lost again, so it doesn't really matter.
Talk about the
Then-
Mavs and Doncic, baby.
I can see
Get
it.
him in the MVP conversation.
I don't know about that yet.
That isn't going to happen. There's too many. Well, in
He
the
won't.
conversation,
He
in the
should be.
conversation, in the conversation, absolutely. Top five
he
voting?
should be. He's
Not-
only one averaging 28, 7 and 7.
Yeah, LeBron should have like 17 of them, but they won't give them to him after doing
Right.
that either. So
Leading a Mavericks team who doesn't really have any superstars besides him.
superstars is a relative term. I think you guys have very good pieces.
Right,
I like your pieces.
We have good pieces, but as for
But that's kind of what I'd rather have. Like this
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
like 3
Yep.
superstar bullshit. I'd
Nope.
rather have a team with chemistry and they all
Exactly.
know their job.
Exactly. No, I agree there, but I'm just saying, pointing
Yeah.
out in today's age of
Yeah.
guys teaming up or whatever, and we don't really have that.
Well, they tried. They tried
we
with the
did
unicorn.
with the unicorn. Yeah, we tried, and it didn't work out, whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm shocked he's not in the conversation. The Mavericks have been kind of one of those sneaky teams, right? There's nothing really flashy about them, except for like Luka kind of leading the team, and you know, it may sound biased because I am a fan, but it's, you know, going into the season, I was like, okay, it's whatever. But they played, 4 seed? They're playing really dang well.
Yeah,
Yep.
I wonder if it's because of the way he started the season, like out of shape and stuff and not ready to play. I wonder if
maybe.
the media kind of just brushed him off at that point. I don't know, because he's been playing great. So, yeah.
Players, coaches, and managers throughout Major League Baseball will continue the annual tradition of donning Jackie Robinson's iconic number 42 on April 15th. But there will be an added twist for this year's 75th anniversary. All 42s will be colored Dodger blue, regardless of the team's primary colors.
Okay. I like they're still keeping it.
Yeah.
Wearing 42s. That's awesome. I could care less about the color.
Actually, the more I thought about this, they all should be wearing Dodger blue anyway. Just make your version of your jersey into some version of blue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether you wear gray and blue, white and blue, and then the road team wears solid blue and whatever.
Sure.
So I think that'd be cool as shit too. You still have your, like, if you're the shitty ass Cleveland Guardians, you still have your Guardians logo on there, but it's still in Dodger blue with 42 on the back.
Yeah.
Or Dodger gray with the blue, whatever. You know, I think that'd be cool as hell. I'm like, I don't think you took it far enough. Maybe you know, just make it as.
I would like to see MLB revamp uniforms in general, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little. Get as you so alluded to. Get Oregon.
yeah, get swagged out, baby.
Get swagged out.
Yeah.
Cardinals Albert Pujols will make his 22nd consecutive opening day start and will be the DH on Thursday.
Boom.
Not surprised though, right?
Yeah, not surprised.
He obviously returned home. They're not going to do him dirty. At least you'll be in opening day. At least we'll continue that going.
Yep.
Probably his last ride. You're not gonna. You're
yeah,
gonna do everything.
Not gonna be
Everything
that
you can.
great. They had a good story last year, but
Yeah, they caught fire at the right time.
Yeah, they did.
You know. Bellator MMA welterweight champion Yaroslav Amosov, who has postponed his professional career in order to serve his native Ukraine, posted a video of himself recovering his 170-pound title belt amid the ongoing Russian invasion on Friday. Amosov posted several videos on Instagram, as well as a picture of himself with a military unit holding the belt. He included his location on as Irpin, a town located just outside the capital of Kyiv. Ukrainian forces recently retook Irpin with a Russian army. I just thought it was kind of a cool
that was
story.
cool.
You know,
Yeah, I did see
walk
the
out
little
there,
thing of it. Yeah.
championship belt. You just can't ding it, baby.
Yeah.
Right? And gentlemen, that's what I got. National championship should be going on or about to tip off like any minute. We kind of touched on it. Let's refresh. Just make sure. Who you going?
Kansas.
And I was taking UNC.
Yep.
All right. I don't know. I think the point spread was 4.5. Is that what you saw last? It's been kind of hovering.
Yeah.
Last.
I can't remember what I took it at when it fucking opened.
Okay. And I'll give you my weird law before we roll into. Does somebody else have the make sense for the evening?
No, you do.
I've been doing them.
What, 2 in a row?
I've done like 5 in a row.
You have not. But
You've done 2.
yeah,
I've
this
done
would be
5.
number 2 in a row.
You have no conversation in this. You just stop. This is literally between me and him.
I did pretty good.
You've chipped in 5 out of 87 episodes.
That is
Calm
very
down.
true.
Yeah. You calm down over there.
I'll work on mine for a couple weeks from now.
I got one for you. I got one for you that you can tell.
Do you remember it?
No,
You've been thinking about one.
seriously, I got one that me and you and a few others took part in.
Okay.
You can tell the story of it because we just told it today, actually, when we went and chatted with CrossFit.
Okay.
Trampolines,
Kansas -4.
Kansas -4. Trampolines, bachelor party.
Oh yeah.
You tell a little bit of that in the
We haven't talked about
dodgeball. I don't think we have.
that? Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember telling it. I don't think you hadn't heard that, right? Up until today. Yep, there you go. All right, so we're moving on from Florida finally, I think. We're in Georgia. There's so many of these ones where it's like you can't tie a certain animal to a street pole, telephone pole, anything like that. What's happening on a regular basis? Chicken In Gainesville, Georgia, chicken must be eaten with the hands.
Oh.
That's weird.
No utensils, huh?
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
Oh, I guess the more you think about it, how often, except for like a chicken breast, I guess,
Yeah.
how often are you not peeling or
Chicken
eating
off with
or
your hands.
yeah, like chicken strips, chicken nuggets, even a chicken sandwich. You're still
Right. Yeah. That is weird.
That is weird. Yeah.
It's still weird that you make a law that you have to eat it with your hands, all right?
Yeah.
Whatever, just like it greased up for later, right? Did I say 2? Better make it 3.
Are you a doctor?
You don't worry about it. Do you have one?
What are you talking about?
Make sense?
No.
What the hell, you amateur? Okay. So I've had this one on my thing there for a while.
That's what I told the doc once.
Yeah. Yeah, then they gave some penicillin and a good luck shot. Like, yeah. Good luck, big guy. Actually, I'm still going to save that one too, I guess. I'm going to go with my brother. So, my half-brother, doesn't matter, lives in Des Moines. Younger than me, 7 years younger than me, if I remember correctly. So that would make me 9 when this happened. That'd make him 2. I'm pretty sure. So can't remember what. I think my dad, my ex-stepmom, and me and my brother were on a road trip or something. I can't remember. Well, like I said, pretty young. Can't remember exactly. And where we were coming from, but I do remember we stopped at one of his distant cousins' house and hang out there. They have like a acreage or something out there, and you drive by some of these acreages and you see like parts laying around or vehicles or I literally got buzzed by the cow thing because I pissed on it once out there. Dumb shit. But it isn't well kept together. It's just like shit kind of everywhere, right? Well, we're about to leave, and we go outside. Me, my cousin that's, I do believe, right, like my same age, and then my little brother. And then my parents are still inside for a while. And I'm sure they were doing something super legal, I'm sure. And we're sitting there killing time like kids do. We grab, and I can't remember exactly what the part is. I think it was, if I had to throw a guess at it, probably a starter or an alternator. And we were throwing this back and forth between me and my cousin as a football. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is pretty stupid, right? Yeah. So, because we're that young, we're sitting there throwing this back and forth. And what I mean by throwing this isn't like we're catching it. Like we wait for it to fall, pick it up, and toss it to each other, whatever.
Bunch of lame ass kids, right?
Yeah. We weren't rich. We had no ball. There was no football. There was no basketball. No baseball. We had goddamn alternators, baby. Pretty sure it was something like that. It's Illinois. Whatever the hell it was. It was metal and it had something that you shouldn't be chucking around. My little brother walks right in between when I go and throw this damn thing on one of them.
Yeah.
Clocks him right in the head.
Oh, no, dude.
Telling you, he was like 2 years old and I wasn't walking that much anyways. Had just started walking, I should say. Yeah, just drops him. Gash on his head, bleeding down his face, just pouring out. Then all of a sudden, my parents come out.
Right.
From their not illegal activities, I guess. I don't know what they were doing. Either way. And obviously, I got freaked out on. And because my little brother is like out, crying, not out, like kind of out.
Go up like, hit me back. No, don't,
yeah,
don't
like,
tell. Hit me
yeah,
back.
no, this isn't one of those. Like, this is like, oh shit, did I kill him? Because like, this is a gash. Like, gash, he's bleeding. Like, he's out. He wasn't like, I'm like, whoa, shit. I'm like, hey, do you got a hole back there? You have some hogs that we can. No, not really. Not at 9. I was just shitting myself. So they come out, they start panicking, freaking out, and I'm like, God, I'm gonna die. My dad is very, very mean. He snapped paddles on my ass, like watch the paddle fly, and then the pain hits. Kid gets up. We go. They bandage him up. Still, if I remember correctly, we didn't go to the emergency room. I don't know why we want to go to the emergency room.
I'm sure you had insurance and everything, right?
Well,
Everything
not
was
worried.
probably up and up.
Well, not worried about that. So back then, like in every hospital, even to this day, they have to get you up to a certain standard, and they have to fix.
Yeah.
So that's one thing they do have to do, right? That's part of their medical code. This is more like, I don't know, whatever they were doing inside that took them so long to get outside. Maybe they could. I have no idea. Maybe that was it. Threw a bandage on there, tightened it up, and he was fine. Made sure he went to sleep, and we still had one hell of a road trip. There isn't anything like too funny about this one where you're going to go to a chuckle or anything like that. But the poor cat has that scar to this day. This bitch is big. Like right here looks like the poor man version of fucking Harry Potter, dude. And it wasn't because of Dumbledore. It was because of his dumbass brother.
Oh, man.
Yeah. About split his skull.
Very nice.
It was a good throw, though. It was every bit of at least 15 yards. At 9 years old, that's impressive for a car part.
Yeah, but what? Like a foot and a half off the ground?
No, dude. I was lofting it.
Oh, and it came down.
Yeah.
Cut him
Yeah. Yeah, it just came short of my cousin. Yeah, it just walks right into my little goofy little brother sitting there walking in the grass. Doink! Boom. He dropped like a sack of potatoes. Bitch.
2-year-old.
Get up, dude. Come on.
Brush
Catch
it
that.
off.
Like, come on, bro.
Acting like a baby over there.
But you know what? Makes sense if you don't think about it.
Definitely.
Throwing
Nothing too fancy
Let's
on that
go.
one. Just pure stupidity.
Yep.
What kind of words of wisdom you got on that?
First off, is it really my fault at the age of 9?
Well, yeah. It
Like,
Yes. Yes.
is it really, though?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, don't be a
Yeah.
dumbass. I get it, but
You should.
maybe you don't trust the 9-year-old boys outside
He should have
with
known.
a little
Actually,
2-year-old.
You know what? It's your brother's fault. He should have known that was going to
Yeah.
happen, and he was going to get cut. And
I know a guy that
potentially
could have should have
concussed.
taught him that. Yeah,
Great motivational speaker.
great. You know,
A+.
Definitely not your dad's fault.
no, could be my stepmom.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay,
Not at all. They were being completely responsible inside, and
yeah.
they
Man,
just
nothing-
expected the best out of their kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was they already knew otherwise. That's stupid on their part. Yeah, so know your surroundings, know who your company is, and know if they make poor decisions, and don't expect anything less.
Watch out for flying objects, folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
duck.
Especially if you're 2 years old. Come on.
Yeah, like seriously, grow up,
Shit,
head on
yeah.
a swivel.
No doubt. Well, let me tell you one thing. That was our first baseball interview today.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good time.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I liked him. Good cat. Definitely good head on his shoulders, too. We've had a lot of that lately, but he's trying to kind of regroup and figure out what he wants to do. And
Yep.
sometimes you got to do that. So
Yeah,
that's
yep.
awesome to hear. Definitely, if you get a chance, check out some of Miles. We'll put up all the socials and stuff for him. We've already posted some of that to this point, but there's some pretty good videos. Like you touched on that earlier, Rio, of his infield videos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Obviously, the kid's a stud, and according to him, his bats are what has improved the most. So
yeah.
Definitely.
yeah. But we're gonna start wrapping it up. If you happen to stumble across us anywhere out there, the podcast is available where, Jimmer?
Anywhere that you possibly can listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere else in between.
Absolutely. And you know damn well we love to tell stories.
Yes.
So if you got a story to tell, it all goes down.
In the DMs, make sure you hit us up. Tell us those stories. We'll get out to all the folks that want to hear it. We want to hear it as well. Make sure to go up and get your hair cut at Gentleman's Way in Garner, Iowa. Our raffle is still going on. You have to go in, get your hair cut by Ryan. He does a dang good job. Once you do that, you can enter your name into our drawing, and your next haircut could potentially be on 3 Gig Sports.
Love it. Win-win for everybody. Great haircut. And, it's free. So who's going to argue with that?
Right. And it's going to be a damn good one.
Yeah.
For sure.
The guy's a stud. He's
Yep.
one of the best around. So, well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. So thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love